moving to the second video, where we are going to understand the summary and the analysis, means the composition of the poem. Okay, students, the poem is divided into the 4 stanzas, and every stanza have 5 lines. Okay, starting with the first stanza. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, means the poet is standing in front of a diversion where the one road is dividing into the 2 separated 2 roads. That means in front of him, in front of the poet, the one road is dividing into the 2 roads. Okay, and before that there is a forest. Okay, in a forest the one road is separated into the 2 roads. Okay, and sorry, I could not travel both. The poet is a single person, and at one time one person cannot travel on the 2 roads. Okay, so he is very sorry that because he is not able to travel on the both roads. And be one traveler. Long as I stood, he is standing in front of the diversion of the roads. Okay, and he is thinking, and he is about to making a decision that which road he should take. Okay, and look down as far as I could. That means he is trying to investigate that which road is looking as far as he could. Okay, he is trying to peeping into the roads, to where it bent in the undergrowth, but the roads are disappearing into the forest, because in front of the poet where he is standing, there is a forest in front of him, and that is a very dense forest. That's why the forest is described as a yellow wood. Yellow wood. Wood means not the log. Okay, here you will take a yellow wood, means a very dense forest in front of the poet, and in that forest a single road is dividing into the 2 roads. Okay, moving to the second stanza. And the second stanza is here. Then took the other just as fair. Okay, there are the 2 roads, and the condition of the 2 roads that one road is disappearing into the forest, and similarly the second one is also disappearing. So the poet has left. The poet leaves the first road, and he says, then took the other just as fair. That means he takes the second road, okay, which was fair, and having perhaps the better claim. How can a road claim that it is better? Okay, yes, a road can claim that it is better when it is looking smooth and it is looking less traveled. Okay, so the second one is looking less traveled because it is claiming that it is better, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Grassy and wanted wear means the second road was less traveled. That's why the grass on the road was not so black. Okay, was not so crushed. Okay, and it was wanted wear means, wanted wear is a phrase, okay, to present the delicate things. That means very delicate and the soft. Okay, so the second road is claiming that it was less traveled. Though as far that the passing there had borne them really about the same. The both roads are passing from the same point, but the second one is claiming that it is better, and the first one was looking like a more traveled because of the condition of the road. Okay, moving to the third stanza. And both that morning equally lie. The both roads were equally lying in front of the poet in leaves. No step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. The poet is saying that he left the first road for the another day. That means he leaves the first road, which was more traveled, which is claiming that it is an easy road to travel. Okay, so he left the first road for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way. He is knowing, the poet is knowing that which kind of result he is going to receive, which kind of goal he is going to receive by choosing the second road. Okay, he is doubted here. See, I doubt if I should ever come back. That means he is leaving the first road and he is saying that he will take that road. He will take that road in some next time. Okay, but he is doubted. Okay, he is in doubt that if he should come back ever, that means he is sure that he will not have to return in the same place. In the final stanza, he is calculating, he is giving the things, okay, what he had received by choosing, by making his decisions. I shall be telling with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Okay, now in future he is saying that to everyone, that I shall be telling with a sigh. That means he has a sense of relief about his decision, what he had made, and about the road what he has taken. I shall be telling with a sigh. Sigh means a sense of relief. That means he is satisfied with his decision. Okay, somewhere ages and ages hence means in future. Okay, in future he is telling that two roads are diverged in a yellow wood. That means the poet is explaining his stories. Okay, the life story of his life, that how he has become so popular. Okay, and how he has got the success in his life, and that time he is sharing his views that two roads diverged in a yellow wood. That means he was at the point in some time where he has to choose so many things. He had to choose one appropriate things from the so many things in front of us. That means like a road. He was standing at a point and where the two roads are dividing. Okay, two roads are separating, but he has to take one road, and the goal, the place where he has to reach is hidden into back of the forest. And I took one less traveled by. The poet has taken the road which is less traveled. Okay, less traveled means the very few people have gone on to the road, and that has made all the difference. And the poet is saying, concluding the story in the last line, that because of the choice, because of the decision, because of the decision to take the less traveled road, he is a little differ. He is differ than the other people, and he has made his special point, his special place in front of the everyone. Students, this poet is saying that we are not ready to be the part of the crowd. We must be separated from the crowd. If you will be in crowd, you will be lost and you will not have any special identity. That's why we must try the different things. We must try to choose those things which can make us successful, and which can give us the special identity in front of the everyone. This poem is about that. So the summary of the story, in a final line, I am going to give you the summary of the story. The poet is standing in front of a place, in front of the forest, where the two roads are dividing into the forest. Okay, the poet has to take the one road because he is one person. So he takes the second road which is less traveled. He doesn't take the first road which is more traveled. Okay, so he takes the second road because he is not ready to be the part of the crowd. Okay, he is not ready to be the part of the crowd where there is no identity of anyone. So he takes the second road, and because of the choice, of the second road, because of the decision of the second road, he is quite different with the he is quite different than the crowd. He is not the part of the crowd. He has his special identity and he has a successful life. Okay, that's why the poet is trying to give the message through this poem that we must be sure about what we are going to take the decision. Okay, the poet is trying to say that we must think about the decisions and we must think about the options what we have, and we have to choose the most appropriate thing which suits us. Okay, and we have to choose the most relevant thing which is in the consequences of the ability. Okay, ability of someone. If you are able to justify that your decisions, then you must try to choose those paths, those ways, and those things which is quite different than the demand of the people. Okay, and because of that you can make your special identity in the eyes of everyone. Okay, this is the summary. In the next part I will give you the analysis of the poem and the use of literary device. Yes, I know that you have come from standard 8 where there is no discussion about the literary devices because you were kicked, but in the standard 9 you will have to read the each and every literary device. Literary device means a condition which the things which makes the poetry very beautiful. Okay, yes, you have read about the literary devices like rhyming schemes and the use of the words. Somewhere you have read the alliteration, but where you have to understand the alliteration and metaphor and the similes. Okay, so this is a very special thing related with the poems where you have to understand the literary devices. Literary devices means the things, the way of the words, the way of the organization of the words, okay, which beautify, which gives the special beauty to a poem. Okay, like literary devices like the ornaments. Okay, how when a girl wears the ornaments, she looks very beautiful. Similarly, when a poetry has the different types of literary devices, it looks very beautiful in the looks and in the meanings. Okay, so in the next part I will explain the analysis of the poem. Till now I am going to give you the homework based on the summary of the poem. Okay, you will read the poem and try to answer the questions what I am going to give you. Thank you. This is enough for today. In the next class I will explain the analysis and the literary device related with this poem with the example and with the explanation, with the definition of the literary devices used in this poem. Okay, this is it. Stay at home, stay safe, and follow the instructions of the government for the fighting with the COVID-19.